Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. It's a wet morning out. We had a decent amount of rain come through yesterday evening and a little bit overnight. Nothing severe of any sort, but it's kind of this time of the year we usually kind of start to dry out a little bit, but actually we've had more moisture hit the ground this month than probably the last couple of months. But not complaining. I mean, the temperature's cooled down. It's, again, strange. The last few days we've had some cool weather, cloudy, damp. But, I mean, who knows? There's so much debate on if this is all natural. Is it being manipulated? Are we going through a climactic change of our, environment, not man-made, but just another cycle? I guess we'll find out eventually, won't we? The world, I mean, it looks dark and grim sometimes, right? You watch all this stuff and you think that, my goodness, is it as bad as it seems? I'm sure it's bad. I think probably a lot of it is they just want us to think that it's bad. They want us to think that this is bad so that you're not paying attention to this. The reality is and this is why I focus so much on, pushing people to have local community, focus on your family, focus on the ones around you, is because in the end, that's all you're going to have. When everything just starts falling apart and the bombs start dropping and the pandemics and the, dollar crashes even more, you're not going to have the people on the other side of the planet. You're not going to have the people that you don't know. You're going to have each other, and that's it. And so that's why people need to be putting a lot more focus on that. It's something that Western society has not put a lot of focus on in decades, is relationships with each other. I just haven't done that, and so we need to start doing that again, because in the end, that's what you're going to have. Anyways, I wanted to talk some more about a subject I've been talking about, but I think it's really, really important. And maybe I'm completely off on this. Maybe this is nothing, but I think it's important. And I'm talking about the technology and the AI and the robots and all this kind of stuff, the brain chips, the transhumanism, the Dataism. If you don't know what that is, it's a new and up and coming religion. This isn't what the video's about. I just thought I'd mention this. It's a new and up and coming religion called Dataism, where you actually look at data as a deity. And that's really a lot of what all this that's been going on for years, is the collection of data. They collect that data, and then that's how they develop AI. That's how they figure out these algorithms and figure out, when you pick up your phone and you get on Facebook and all of a sudden there's these ads for things that you were thinking about. And you're thinking, man, are they reading my brain? Well, it's not so much that they're reading, your thoughts. It's that they have picked up on your behaviors, and through a set of calculations have been able to figure out what it is that you like or that you need. So anyways, all of this stuff that's going on, I think that it is maybe one of the more important things going on in our existence. More so than the possibility of a World War III with Russia or Iran or China. Bigger than probably the next pandemic that's going to pop up at some point eventually, because they're going to. More important than the dollar collapsing. More important than, adding another $20 trillion in debt that this big, beautiful bill is going to do, and, completely undermine everything that Elon Musk and his Doge team did. In fact, Elon Musk even said yesterday that he was really disappointed in this bill, that everything that they have done with Doge is completely being washed away with this bill, and they're just going to, increase the spending again. All this kind of, it's more important than all that, I think. Because this is the stuff that's really directing our future as a people, our freedom, our our existence as it is now. These elites have talked about this technology, of it getting to the point that it will actually change what human biology is, that it will change us in a sense, that the line between human organic being and a digital synthetic being will be so blurred that you won't be able to tell the difference. I think this is really important. I want to talk to you just a moment about this new project that is being done, that it's all part of it. You know, the president just got back a couple weeks ago from that trip in the Middle East. And the big focus on that trip was developing relationships with countries in the Middle East to build computers, to build AI, to develop all of this stuff. That was the big thing. You know, I said last week, I think, that it was interesting. I think maybe for the first time that a U.S. president either goes to the Middle East or has some kind of conference, discussion, or whatever with Middle Eastern countries, and it didn't really look like oil was much of a topic, especially with Saudi Arabia. That's always been the thing with Saudi Arabia, is oil. And that wasn't even really a thing for this trip. It was about technology. Qatar is in UAE are building massive data centers and computer centers and quantum computing centers, and that'll have the capability of handling massive amounts of AI computing. We're selling them a bunch of AI microchips. I mean, all this kind of stuff. Well, the same thing's happening over here. So let's not just focus on what's going on in the Middle East. And if you remember, in the first early days, like the first few days of Trump's presidency, he had that meeting with all of these AI computer executives in the Oval Office. OpenAI, the ChatGPT guy, Oracle, several others, including Elon Musk, were all there. Remember that? And they were talking about how AI is the future and how it's going to ensure security, that it'll be able to figure out. This is crazy. It's crazy that this stuff was actually said in the White House, in the Oval Office, under the Trump presidency, and no one lost it. No one there should have been an immediate uprising right there at that point. But they were talking about that AI will be so good that it will be able to figure out that you're going to commit a crime before you commit it. And it will stop you. And so it will ensure security for everyone, because it'll be able to determine pre-crime. I mean, this is crazy. That is what they talked about. They talked about that AI will be, you know, determining your medical path. It'll be your doctor. It'll create specific customized vaccinations just for you so that you'll be completely healthy and you're going to live really long. Anyways, that was all done. Most people have forgotten about that. Well, since then, they have been building this, what is being said is one of the largest building projects in American history in Abilene, Texas. And it's been kind of top secret. No one's been allowed to go there. No cameras have been allowed until just a few days ago. A crew was allowed to go in and do some filming and make a few videos and stuff. And so I want to show you that. This project is called the Stargate Project. That's the code word. That was the code word for this. They even say that. I think it's Sam Altman, ChatGPT guy, says that in the video, that was the code word for this. So that's what they've gone ahead and called it, is the Stargate Project. And that's interesting because some of you that are in the know what that means. That's portals. That's opening to other realms. They don't even hide stuff, folks. That's what's insane, is they don't even hide this stuff. And people just are okay with it. I mean, you know, we've got the whole Hadron Collider, CERN, the stuff that they do. They don't hide it. Did you know that they're actually working on developing another one, one that's going to be way more massive than CERN? and it'll be able to do much more and open many more portals and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, so they call this the Stargate. It's this massive building, like multiple buildings, out in Abilene, Texas, out in the red dirt country. And basically it's all these big tech companies coming together to build the world's largest AI computing center. This is going to be massive data processing, collection of data, creation of AI using to control it. And you know, when you get on your phone, or, you know, maybe at some point it's just going to be a chip in your head, right? Not you guys, but you know what I mean. And you connect and you talk to AI and you ask it a question and it answers you. There's a good chance that that is going to come through this center that's being developed. I want to go ahead and just show you the video. It's like a minute and a half long. I'll come back and talk for a moment and then we'll wrap this up. But this is, I think it's way more serious than most of the things that are happening today that most people are talking about. And no one seems to be really scared about. This is exciting. This is cool, man. This is excitement. At least that's how all the media, the social media, the alternative media, the mainstream media, all political sides are, you know, no one is out there other than kooky, crazy people like me saying that, hey, this is bad, warning, you know. Anyways, I'll go ahead and play the video and I'll come back.
Welcome to Abilene, Texas. This is the site of Project Stargate, a very mysterious, much talked about, much speculated about project. Why call it Stargate?
It began as a code name, and sometimes code names stick.
Hey, Emily.
Thank you so much for having us.
Welcome to Abilene.
It's so awesome to be here.
Yeah.
How many people are on this site?
Today we have about 2,200 people on site.
If it all comes together, this is going to be one of the most massive infrastructure projects in American history.
This was just a complete barren field.
So
right?
there was nothing here in June?
There were a bunch of mesquite trees and bushes and brush. And today we have almost 1 million square feet of fully developed building that's going to be energizing large-scale GPU clusters in the coming weeks and months.
Building after building on this red dirt behind me will be filled with chips that'll power the AI revolution. If you're using ChatGPT somewhere out there, there's a good chance it'll be powered by data centers that are being built right here. There have been no pictures, no cameras allowed inside until now. So we are going to give you your first look.
The velocity of innovation here is just mind-blowing. What I saw rising from the red dirt in Abilene, how do you personally grapple with the pace of it all?
We are definitely doing something unprecedented. I believe AI will help dramatically accelerate the pace of science and human discovery and our understanding of what's possible.
All right. A nice, quaint, fun, soft video. Again, no one is, other than the kooky, crazy people like myself, Doug and Stacy, you know, Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, he's been out speaking out about it. A few other people, not a lot, not too many people. I think Pinball Preparedness has a video either today or yesterday on it. Not very many people are speaking out about this. I mean, I don't listen to Alex Jones anymore, but you know, when you're on Twitter, you see his posts. I haven't noticed anything that he has really posted about hitting this stuff. I don't know about, you know, other big names in kind of the truth patriot movement, but no one seems to really be hitting on this one. And this is huge. There's just in recent days, there's been some videos released of new robots out of China. These things are capable of, you know, you familiar with not Hollywood robots, but actual real ones where, you know, they move all weird and, you know, these things, they're able to do martial arts. I mean, very effectively. The quality of these AI robots that's happening just in the last 6 months, it's almost like we made another big leap forward. I don't know, there was some kind of breakthrough, there was something. Because it seemed like just a year ago, most of the robots you saw were ridiculous. They looked like a high school project. And then now all of a sudden these robots are like, holy smokes, you know, they're very near the Terminator level, at least in appearance and their movements and everything. So That's happening. This AI, you know, Elon Musk is really pushing the brain chip company thing. They're doing testing over in the Middle East. That was part of this Middle East tour with Trump. Is that I believe it was Qatar, maybe UAE, one of them agreed to do human testing of his brain chip. This stuff's happening. It's happening rapidly. That video, did you catch that video? Was it just a few months ago? There was nothing there, and all of a sudden there's, you know, 100,000 square footage of building already built and everything, 2,200 people working on it in just a few months. This thing will most likely be up and I don't know what the timeline, but it'll be up and running before the end of Trump's presidency. This is, you know, probably in another year or so. It's crazy what's being done, and it's moving so rapidly. I mean, the amount of speed that it's happened just in the last 6 months. And then now, and this is exactly what Elon Musk, exactly what Donald Trump, and several others have said. So it's not just my opinion I'm making up. It's going to pick up speed a lot because since Trump has taken office, he has pushed all these countries and companies to invest billions and trillions of dollars into AI infrastructure development here in the United States. That's what you just watched a video of. And so it is going to expand the next 12 to 18 months, I would guess. And then into 12 to 24 months, the expansion of artificial intelligence and all this type of technology is going to, it's 24 months from now, we're going to look back at this day, this moment in time, and say, I don't even recognize it when it comes to technology. It is advancing so rapidly. I mean, it's exponential growth, most definitely at this point. And especially now with the trillions of dollars being pushed into it. And people aren't waking up. And there's not really anything you and I can do to stop it, okay? We just have to start working really, really hard at creating our own infrastructure so that we can possibly have a chance to exist outside of this transhumanism artificial world. That's going to be difficult. I don't know 100% that it's possible, but we have to do everything that we can to start preparing now, developing the skills, the relationships with people, acquiring the right tools and equipment, and then living in the right place. You know, if you're living in the middle of Portland, the odds of you being able to live outside of this system is going to be really, really slim, folks. So we have to start pushing ourselves really hard because this AI is being pushed extremely hard. It's time to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.